Here's a preview of what we're going to be making. All right, so we're going to be checking out the Bloom Bass Impulse, and we're going to be making some music with it as just sort of a way to check it out. If you're thinking about picking up any of the Bloom series, I'd appreciate it if you use the link down in the description. The Bass Impulse library, think like crazy dubstep, wub type stuff. Here are some of the samples. Yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. As with all the other Bloom instruments, there is a cool visual in the middle. There are some macros across the front. In this case, we have sub EQ. So here's the bass sample. Now let's go ahead and try each one of these out. If you're wearing headphones, you should hear that pretty clearly. We got some noise, crush, and width. Again, with this stuff, you're going to want to be wearing headphones or listening in a nice setup in order to really hear some of these controls. There are additional macros on this button. I usually don't highlight this, but there are some useful controls in here, so you don't have to go into the engine in the background. If you are a little more savvy with some of the technical stuff, you can click on Edit, and it will open up the sample engine, and you can come in and edit all the different things. Across the white keys are the samples. Across the black keys are sequences. The sequences aren't always populated. Like for right now, we're on the initial preset, so there's nothing here. But if we go to like disco time, for example. So these are pre-made sequences, and you can see which samples are firing off. If you want to change the samples, you can do so by clicking on these little steps right here. And this allows you to try out different samples. Maybe I like this one and I want to drag it onto here. Yeah. So you can kind of hear the different bass sounds that we have. If the samples are playing the wrong notes, because right, they're pre-recorded samples, you can choose the key that you're in, major or minor, and you just click it and it will transpose them. So right now we're in A minor. I could go to G minor. And here's A minor. So you hear the notes change. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on A minor. These black keys here do crazy things to the sample during playback. I honestly kind of underutilize them. They're really cool. Like there's some pitch bending stuff. And so the pitch there is changing by an octave. With these keys, we can go backwards. Yeah, and then you can double or half time it. So on and so forth. So these are pretty cool, and they're just the black keys. You just hit the black key and it'll trigger the sequence. Oh, that one's pretty cool. We might be making some drum and bass, man. I'm going to heart this one. We might come back to that one. Here's rhythmic. The Bloom instruments are just good, man. I like their sequences. I like the samples. These are all subs, so they're gonna be really low. You might not hear this if you're listening over like little headphones or a phone speaker. That one you should hear. All right, we're gonna run with this D&B rewind. Let's approach D&B tempo here. Let's go for like 172. It's a bit odd starting with the bass. We're gonna call this like bass rips. It's also weird having so many basses on a single track. I'm gonna really quick look into it. Is it possible to get multi-out per sample? So the output tab only shows a single output. So I'm gonna go with no, it's not. So that means all these basses, if we choose to use a sequence, are gonna come out of the same thing. I might screw around with my own sequence. Let's see. that maybe. Let's go ahead and duplicate it. Let's add a bloom. I want the drum breaks. That one. Let's go for clean. I don't know. Quiet night seems like the opposite. Yeah. And right here, we'll give ourselves another one. There's another kick up here, but it's a bit different, which will work out nice. We're going to duplicate this. How's it without anything? I mean, we're probably going to have to mix it a little bit. Oh man, it's just come together. Oh geez, so many things. I think a multi-pass is probably the best call for this, to go after it in a multi-band kind of a way. Let's add a transient shaper to this. Gives him a attack, a little bit of pump, and a touch of sustain. On the high end, let's add an EQ. Now, there are a few. We got carve and slice. Let's go for the slice EQ and bring up the high end a bit. Where's that at? Oh my gosh. Let's go again. We're going to make this one unique. And on the last pattern, right, we got to do something totally different. All right. So we need some sort of a pad element. Also, my hats, they're a touch weak. On the multi-pass, I'm going to add a reverb like smack dab in the middle. Yeah, somewhere around there. Okay, I'm envisioning a pad or something. I think the vocal libraries could be cool. I mean, the cashmere one could be wild to add on top of this. Let's try it out. What's an experimental? Oh, you know what? We got vocals. Oh my. I think we're going to go with harmony echoes. That kind of works. Okay, this has a pretty long echo, so I'm going to put it down every other measure and let the echo ring through the rest of it. It appears that the velocity doesn't do anything. So we're going to have to do this with a fruity balance. And I like doing it this way so that our fader stays free to be moved kind of like this. And do we have a width control on this jazz? Space and width. Maybe make it as wide as possible. Oh, you know what? Low fives kind of makes it fit a bit better. We might keep this. All right, let's add Q4s to everything so that we can go ahead and balance everything how we want. All right, so I've gone through and EQ'd them all. These are the shapes I settled on. It sounds like this. Okay, so we've got an interesting like bass patch. I am curious what some other patches would sound like. I like our first one the most. But of course, I sort of designed everything else around it. So, I think it fits the best. So we're going to stop there, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how fast you can get up and running with this, the types of sounds that are inside of Bass Impulse. If you're going to pick them up, check out the link below, subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.